Good afternoon, Los Angeles Unified, and welcome to the 2022-2023 Superintendent's Opening of Schools Address. The outstanding music in the auditorium was provided by the Alexander Hamilton Senior High School Music and Performing Arts Magnet Jazz Band, led by Director Philip Topping. And we have been dazzled by the Phineas Banning Senior High School Marching Band and Tall Flags, led by Director Javier Ortiz and Coach Paulina Lamb. Please give our talented students a round of applause. Today is a celebration of excellence and the work you do as district leaders. Thank you to the Los Angeles Unified principals and assistant principals for the amazing work that you do every day for our students. And now, please rise for the presentation of colors led by the James Monroe High School Viking Battalion under the direction of Command Sergeant Major Arturo Ramos Martinez and First Sergeant Charles A. Mujica. The Pledge of Allegiance will be recited by North Hollywood Senior and our Student Board Member-elect Nathan Shin. The national anthem will be sung by Mark Twain Middle School 6th grader Mulea Emma Chandrawigowa. Please remain standing until the Honor Guard has retired the colors.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you everyone for being here today to celebrate the opening of schools. The first day of schools represents the start of infinite possibilities. Infinite possibilities for the early education student who steps onto campus for the first time. Infinite possibilities for the student who promised herself that she would not only graduate high school, but continue learning far beyond. That's what education is. Hope. The hope that the future is ours, that we can make this world a better place and lead a better life if we only dare to dream big enough and aim high enough. The hope that equipped with the tools that make us ready for the world, we can fulfill our potential and one day hold a position to help others do the same. Each one of you in this audience supports us in different ways, fights for us in a different arena. But the common thread that brings you all together is that you are the deliverers of hope. You are the people who create the opportunities that allow us to turn those hopes into reality. And so, from the bottom of my heart, and on behalf of all of my peers in LA Unified, thank you for your tireless hours and your personal sacrifices. Let's have a great year.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Thank you.
It is now my pleasure to introduce an incredible leader and our school board president, Kelly Gonez. Her election at 32 made her the youngest female board president in Los Angeles Unified history and the first millennial to lead the board. Under her leadership, the Los Angeles Unified Board has prioritized creating the safest possible environment for students to learn. Please welcome Los Angeles Unified Board President Gonez.
Good afternoon and welcome back to our entire LA Unified family. I'm honored to be in the presence of so many incredible leaders in person and online. As we kick off this 22-23 school year, I am filled with hope and optimism. We know that the realities of COVID remain, and we will need to be nimble in responding to the ever-changing nature of this pandemic. But this school year brings the promise of recovery and renewal for our students, staff, and families. Of course, for so many of us, our students are our source of energy and inspiration. There's nothing like the joy of preschoolers, the unleashed curiosity of elementary school students, the transformation and growth of our middle schoolers, and the brilliance and power of our high school students. Too often, however, we neglect to recognize the inspiration, power, and hope that emanates from you, the hardworking staff in every single one of our schools. Throughout every phase of these trying 2.5 years, our administrators have stepped up in every way possible, from remote to hybrid to our full reopening last year. You have navigated every surge and new strain with leadership, flexibility, and commitment. and our excellent teachers and staff have done so much to support the growing needs of our students and families alike. This year, I envision the opportunity for all of that leadership, innovation, and love that our LA Unified family has employed over these last 2 years to be fully concentrated on the learning, well-being, and success of our kids. For the chance not to just respond and recover, but to renew and sustain the joy, challenge, and liberation that is public education. We start this school year with the committed leadership of our superintendent, who I look forward to hearing from shortly, the united focus of our board, and finally, with a plan for our district focused on improving student outcomes and confronting the biggest challenges facing our system. All of this is about supporting you in the critical work at our schools. There is no sugarcoating the work that lies ahead. The needs of our students and schools are great. But I know that working together, we can meet those needs and put every child on the path to realizing their immense promise. Thank you all, and have a wonderful start to the school year.
And now, please help me welcome to the stage the pride of East Los Angeles, the James A. Garfield Senior High School Mariachi Band, under the direction of Garfield alumnus Guillermo Gonzalez. The love for mariachi is multi-generational, and today's performance will include recent graduates who are now starting mariachi programs at their universities.
Y que se oiga un aplauso. Hoy que lleno de emociones me encuentro con mi jarana. Voy a rendir homenaje a la canción mexicana. Voy a rendir homenaje a la canción más galana, la canción más primorosa, que es la canción mexicana. Pa' hacer pesos y a montones no hay como el americano. Pa' conquistar corazones no hay mejor que un mexicano. ¿Y cómo es que lo consigue? Sino cantando canciones como ese cielito lindo que alegra los corazones. Ay, 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 canta y no llores, porque cantando se alegra el cielito lindo los corazones. No hay otra cosa más linda que las mañanitas frías. Cantarle a mi rancherita mañanitas tapatías, que nos trae mucha alegría, que emociona el cuerpo mío. Son los sones sabajeños del mariachi tapatío. El mariachi suena con alegre son. ser la más primorosa y alimento en el amor. Hay canciones extranjeras que alborotan la pasión, pero ni una se compara con esta dulce canción. Que si Adelita quisiera ser mi novia, que si Adelita fuera mi mujer, le compraría un vestido de seda para llevarla a bailar al cuartel. Otro aplauso para Mariachi Los Álamos, por favor. Cuando salgo a los campos me acuerdo de un amor que yo tuve en un tiempo. Hoy me acuerdo y me da sentimiento, sentimiento por su ingrato amor. Tú eres rica y te llenas de orgullo. Yo soy pobre y tirada a los vicios. Te lo digo borracho y en mi juicio, que otro amor como el mío no le hace hallar. Tú eres rica y te llenas de orgullo. Yo soy pobre y tirada a los vicios. Te lo digo borracho y en mi juicio, que otro amor como el mío no le hace hallar.
It is my pleasure to introduce an outstanding educator and leader who is working hard every day to make Los Angeles Unified stronger, bolder, and more cohesive. Since he arrived at Los Angeles Unified, he's challenged all of us to be centered, innovative, and focused on student achievement. During his recent 14-year tenure as superintendent of Miami-Dade County Public Schools, he garnered local, state, national, and international recognition, making him the most accomplished superintendent in America's history. He is now leading Los Angeles Unified to better connect schools with the communities they serve and to help serve the unique needs of each and every student. It gives me great pleasure and excitement to welcome four-time National Superintendent of the Year, our very own Los Angeles Unified Superintendent, Alberto M. Carvalho.
cannot watch that without feeling something special in my heart. Feeling a sense of promise, a sense of promise, a sense of dignity, a sense of urgency on behalf of the children we serve. Good afternoon, colleagues and friends. What incredible performances we just watched. You know, for me, the best part of starting a new school year is truly seeing firsthand the tremendous talent of our students and our employees. When I moved here, I knew I was arriving in the entertainment capital of the world. The spectacular student performances I've seen indicate that our school's arts programs will produce some of the biggest stars of the next generation. Let's give them all one more round of applause. I also would like to thank our partners right here at the Microsoft Theater for opening their doors and inviting us into this magnificent venue. You see, Microsoft Theater is a thread in a larger fabric of venues in our city, and it serves our community by bringing together students, staff, families, and community members, and providing all intimate front row experience of amazing live performances. I also want to extend a very special heartfelt thanks to our parents for their constant support of our students and our schools. It cannot be overstated that their commitment and dedication is indeed indispensable. Los Angeles Unified's mission to provide students with the world-class education they deserve without parents would be more impossible than, quite frankly, the Miami Heat trying to reunite LeBron and D. Wade. You are your children's first and forever teachers. Over the past few years, you have bravely served as a force of stability in the lives of our students in and outside of the classroom. Thank you. Thank you for all that you do. My friends, it is a privilege to be here with you and to serve as your superintendent, an educator whose heart beats to the drums and the feelings of our community's children. It is my distinct pleasure, also an honor, to join you, some of you in person, some of you remotely, on my very first opening of schools address. On behalf of our Board of Education President Kelly Gonis, Vice President Nick Melvoin, Dr. George McKenna III, Monica Garcia, Scott Schmerlson, Jackie Goldberg, Tanya Ortiz Franklin, and all of the elected officials who are with us today, thank you for coming. On that note, yeah, please applaud. On that note, I want to highlight someone who will be departing later this year. Now, you may know her as a soft-spoken advocate, maybe the quietest on the board. You know who I'm referencing. You also know that that's a joke. You see, Ms. Garcia is a tireless advocate of Los Angeles Unified students and staff, and public education, quite frankly, as a whole. Monica, I am incredibly inspired by your voice, by your joy, and by your persistence. You'll be greatly missed, but trust me, your legacy will live on, and our students are better because of your dedication, your courage, and your service. Now, my friends, I hope each of you are returning to school on August 15th, energized and ready for a new year after a refreshing summer break. Now, many of you undoubtedly traveled during the summer months to experience new sights, visit old friends, or reconnect with family members after the pandemic lockdowns. Maybe you channeled Daphne Bridgerton's vibes and ventured to your childhood home to take in the customs and festivities, and maybe some of that old-fashioned family gossip. Personally, I think Daphne should have, stayed with the Viscount to dodge the uninteresting second season. I'm sure others took the opportunity to remain local and take in the beauty of Los Angeles summer. a season I myself am experiencing for the very first time. And let me tell you, I don't think, honestly, I'm absolutely certain that there isn't another place like Los Angeles. Still speaking of vacation and summer, maybe you opted to stay literally local, holed up in your home to binge the latest installment of Stranger Things. Well, if that was you, maybe we can talk after this, because I have really several questions about Vecna and all of this season's plot holes. Look, given that I'm the new guy, I'm still making sense of the culture and what people are really interested in. So help me out. I'm going to conduct a quick poll. Show of hands. Do we have any Grace and Frankie fans right here, right now? How about Ted Lasso? Where are my Marvel fans? I mean, are you kidding me? Who just craves blockbusters and was ready for a 60-year-old Tom Cruise to dominate the skies again in a new Top Gun? I mean, amazing fun. Now, if you have an intense love of Squid Game, well, I suggest you try some of our great social emotional exercises and maybe speak with a loved one. My friends, it is really with great pride that I welcome you to a new school year. A new day, a new dream, a new picture of success, a new opportunity. I'm thrilled to begin my very first full year at Los Angeles Unified and join a district that is woven into the fabric of Los Angeles. The entertainment industry, scientific discovery, the arts and business. The traditions and excellence that have been built over many decades are truly remarkable. And we have so many things to celebrate. Now, this is just a preliminary figure, so the exact number may change slightly, but our graduation rate for the 21-22 school year was over 85%. That means more than 8 out of 10 students completed their requirements for graduation and are now headed to college or into their careers, but there's more to be done. We shall leave no one behind. This is an incredible achievement, continues an upward trend for the past several years. So please, a round of applause for all of you, the ones in the classrooms and on campuses making an impact every single day. There's more. According to the U.S. News and World Report, we had 9 schools nationally ranked among the top 1,000 schools in the U.S. last year, including 7 in the top 600 and 2 in the top 200. In fact, Harvard Teacher Preparation Academy was ranked number 62 in the nation last year. We also had 9 of our schools ranked among the top 100 schools in California, with Harbor ranking number 4 in our state. There is greatness among us. You see, there's a tsunami of choices for families, so in order to survive, we must outcompete them, and that is exactly what we will do this coming year. Now, this is a great start. It's a fantastic start. We also have a strong adult and career education program that is preparing adults to contribute to the workforce. You probably know last year we had a 77% job placement rate, which includes 90% in ag and natural resources, 87% in manufacturing and product development, 86% in building and construction trades, and 84% in marketing, sales, and service. We are building the future in our schools today, but there's more to be done. You see, you are doing an excellent job of sending out individuals who will make an indelible mark in numerous job sectors. While we celebrate all that is good that's taken place in our community and what comes before, we must now turn our focus to the future and address the challenges at hand. It's no secret that LUSD has navigated difficult years, some of which resulted from the pandemic and the transition to virtual learning, hybrid modalities, contact tracing, weekly testing, prolonged student absences, quarantines, families moving to less expensive parts of the country, and the list goes on and on and on. Every school in America was grappling with this new reality, and no one escaped the tribulations, the problems, the challenges of a global public health crisis. Our teachers, our employees, our colleagues, you put in countless hours of work to care for our students. When no one was looking, you were there. You met them where they were. You addressed their needs. You loved them. You hugged them. You touched them. You taught them. I'm asking you to do it all over again with a greater sense of purpose and dedication. There is an urgency of this moment that shall not be wasted. You see, your dedication pushed us all through some of the darkest periods of the pandemic, successfully returning to campuses in the fall, and then after Christmas, and then after spring break, and now to kick off the 22-23 school year. Along each step of the way, we learned what was working, what wasn't working, which learning initiatives were valuable for us to hang on to after the pandemic receded, and which ones will you intend to leave behind. Some of our challenges existed long before the pandemic. We talk about children in crisis. Let's be honest, there were children in crisis before the pandemic. Today, they lie in darker recesses, facing challenges the likes of which no one in this nation ever faced. But there's you. Other challenges abound. You see, we've had years of declining enrollment. In fact, a 2.8% decline in student enrollment in 2021 that is estimated to accelerate to over 3% in the next few years. Immigration policies that forced many of our families fleeing to other cities and countries, and housed children and families decimated by the ever-increasing cost of living in our state, and the plight of the lost students throughout Los Angeles. Those who are no longer registered for schools at LUSD, but who weren't registered anywhere else either. As if that weren't enough, we are looking at much different, potentially darker future as it relates to investments in public education. Though we've recently had the opportunity to make unprecedented investments into our students and our workforce, many of our resources are short-term, which will impact the district's long-term financial outlook. As we're all gathered here in Microsoft Theater on August 8, 2022, this is our reality. But change is coming. Change is coming. Possibilities are on the horizon. Or, as the event today aptly named, imagine the possibilities. You see, I am a person of science. I am driven by science, driven by fact. Nothing more, nothing less. That is it. My former training is in biomedical sciences and physics, so I thought I'd walk you through a physics concept relevant to the work you do each day as instructional leaders, as community leaders, as parents, as teachers, as mentors, as school board members. I know you probably know this if you didn't fall asleep in your physics class. But look, the laws of physics are very similar to the tenets of leadership. I was recently on a flight taxiing down the runway. When the plane was ready to take off, we were speeding down the runway until we lifted off, defying gravity, and then accelerating to a cool climb to 30,000 feet. You see, acceleration is defined as the rate of change in velocity over time. According to my buddy Isaac Newton, it is the net result of any and all forces acting on a single object. Now I know what you know. The only way for a plane to fly is acceleration, a force that enables the aircraft to counteract the gravity pulling down on the vessel and achieve lift and ultimately flight. I think you might see where I'm going with this, but acceleration is crucial to enact change in circumstances and context. Let me state this another way. We collectively, you and I, and everyone who trusts in the possibility of children must counterbalance the negative forces and pressures confronting Los Angeles Unified, our state, and our nation. And the only way to do that is by accelerating change. This is not the time to slow down or to be extra cautious. We need to move swiftly. Just as the plane will stall if it does not maintain or increase its speed, we too must accelerate change to achieve excellence. We are not slowing down. Most, or many, view reform, particularly educational reform, at a large institution like Los Angeles Unified as necessarily protracted, cautious. Have you ever heard a leader use the analogy of a supertanker that in order to turn around must do so gradually, deliberately, carefully, and slowly? Well, I don't agree with that mindset. And I'll tell you why. As we turn slowly and perfect ourselves, how many students are we willing to lose? I'm not willing to lose a single one. Those days of sluggish change went the way of the Walkman. Wait a second. I think I've actually seen some of our students walking around listening to Olivia Rodrigo on their Walkman, so maybe I can't use that example. How about this? Viewing change in that manner went the way of bell-bottom jeans. You remember it? Wait, never mind. If Selena Gomez is wearing flared jeans, just watch. Any day now, we're all going to be wearing bell-bottoms. I mean, this whole era of nostalgia is really cramping my examples. But okay, I think I got it. Outdated views of change ended quicker than Kylie Jenner's recent 3-minute flight from Camarillo to Van Nuys. I think I nailed that one. Anyway, I think you get my drift. So yes, will we be deliberate? Of course. Must we be intentional? Yes. But community reform by nature does not have to be protracted or slow. It can be thoughtful, strategic, but quick. And we will. We will be making changes and reforming the way LAUSD conducts business in a swift and unapologetic manner for the benefit of our colleagues and, most importantly, our students. Because they cannot wait. Our society cannot wait. The world cannot wait. Their world cannot wait. You see, we have this solemn promise that when a child is born in our community, they deserve the best we have to offer, our best selves, our best determination, our best courage, our passion, our compassion, not just some of the time, but all of the time. Every single day, students enter our buildings and deserve a world-class education that truly prepares them for the world that will be rather than the world that was. Now, my friends, now is the time to change, and there may not be another opportunity. Or, as President JFK once said, for time and the world do not stand still. Change is the law of life. And those who look only to the past or the present are certain to miss the future. Or to quote another powerful voice of consciousness, a modern-day philosopher, Ferris Bueller, who tells us that life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it. We shall not miss an opportunity, a second, a minute, or a day in doing the right thing at the right time for the right reason by our children. I want to tell you how we're going to build onto the incredible legacy of Los Angeles Unified. A legacy many of you helped shape. A legacy some of you benefited from as students yourselves. And I have to tell you, every time I go into a school, every time I meet someone in a restaurant, in a taco stand, people tell me, I am an LAUSD graduate. I went to this high school, to that high school. There is pride in saying who we are and the entity we belong to. But this moment calls for us to build something new, something special, something innovative, something that will reshape the fabric of public education and position Los Angeles Unified as the most successful district in the United States. That is a promise I intend to keep alongside you. I believe that an incredible opportunity lies ahead. I accepted this position knowing we have many challenges in front of us. When I first arrived, we set out an ambitious 100-day plan to immediately begin changing our trajectory, our journey, and lay the foundation for the work ahead. It is time now for us to intensify, not slow down, the focus on what is most important to our students. And quite frankly, those who support them every single day, to inspire a theory of action that turns the impossible into the inevitable, with the perfect balance of skill and will, powerful, indomitable belief. You see, not just for some, but for everyone in our community. We challenged ourselves and we challenged the team to be bold, innovative, and focused. And the community and the district responded with vigor and excitement. Throughout our first 100 days together, we engaged nearly 6,000 stakeholders in person and virtually about what must be prioritized to support student success and close gaps. And over 14,000 individuals shared ideas and feedback via survey. Some were whispered, and some, as I've learned in LA, were screamed at me, but I got it. Then we went to work. We combined this invaluable qualitative data and conducted necessary quantitative analysis to better understand the landscape of our challenges and areas of opportunity. Strategy. Following this, not waiting long, we acted. And friends, we have collectively, alongside this honorable board, accomplished a lot. We filled all in-school vacancies with fully credentialed individuals, launched a pilot data dialogues program with priority schools, safely welcomed central office employees back to our headquarters, identified key strategies to address the learning loss and negative impacts of the pandemic through an incredible array of summer school enrichment offerings and acceleration days for this school year. We instituted the All Families Connected initiative that will absolutely disrupt and close the digital divide among our students and their families. We expanded early education, unveiled the nation's largest school-based air quality program, increased arts education, and expanded dual language programs. All of that in the first 100 days. Now, it's no secret I have another 1,000 days left on my contract. Finally, and equally important, this board unanimously approved the 22-23 budget, which incorporates an additional $1.9 billion investment that will strengthen our commitment to academic excellence, joy and wellness, and support for our students and our employees. This budget, however, is not a static document. It is dynamic and will adapt and pivot strategically in accordance with emerging trends in our school system. Are you with me? You see, we've accomplished tremendous things together. We did this, you did this. You set the high-level challenge and then you delivered. In some instances, you over-delivered, but we're not done. Now, I'm absolutely certain that this does not come as a surprise to any of you. There is more important work to do. The 100-day plan was just the start. Shall we call it the hors d'oeuvre? An appetizer for bigger and bolder things to come. So where did we move after the 100-day plan? Well, we are accelerating forward. We're headed straight into the main course, and this one doesn't come in the beautiful prepackaged boxes provided by food services during today's lunch. In June, we launched our 22-26 strategic plan. You see, that plan is our guidepost laying out exactly how we will position LAUSD as the premier urban school district of choice in the U.S. Our plan establishes a clear and inspiring vision moving forward, not only for the future of our district over the next 4 years, but for the future of all of our students on their journey as they become the lifelong learners we aspire them to be. Our strategic plan is designed to leverage our important work to date and build upon our strong foundation in bold and innovative ways. Then we will be even more responsive to the needs of our students and the communities in which they live. We have been thoughtful and strategic in our approach, carefully considering the drivers we think will be most impactful to improve student achievement and close historic opportunity gaps. Now, we must focus our efforts intently on the things our research, our data, and our community engagement tell us will set our students on a path of joy and success. The plan is a map by which we will emerge from the darkness of the past few years and find the light of success that lies on the other side. Now, I know this will not be easy. I'm not going to try to convince you that there will not be hardship along the way. These are indeed difficult, deliberate choices we will have to make. But we will make them with honor and dignity, not sacrificing our very best in the pursuit of a goal. Now, I'd like to walk through this plan so we're all on the same page, of the same mindset and working in concert toward the same goals. If you take nothing else away from today, remember this one thing. For the next 4 years, Los Angeles Unified will focus singularly on ensuring all of our students graduate ready for the world. Let me repeat that. Everything we do, everything we implement, everything we strive for is in the name of preparing our students to graduate ready for the world. We believe that by outlining a singular focus and a vision for achieving it, we can ensure that everyone who is part of our district will be able to support and uplift our district together. Let us start then with the foundation of this plan. What does being ready for the world mean? Being ready for the world means many things, but first and foremost, it means that all students, not just some, all students, graduate from our district fully prepared and inspired to thrive in college, career, and their lives beyond our classrooms. We believe that each and every student is capable of making a lasting and positive impact on the district, on the world. And that is our responsibility, to help them realize their full potential. Being ready for the world means our students are advocates for themselves and others, and that they are open-minded, adaptable, and effective communicators. That they are empathetic and understanding. Quite frankly, far better than our generation has showed them to be. The bottom line is that our students will be ready for the world and prepared to serve as the next generation of change makers, of problem solvers, of artists, as pioneers, scientists, surgeons, activists, and public servants. Because it's not a question of if we will need their intellect and talents, it's when. While in Miami, I sadly witnessed firsthand how students from Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School reshaped public consciousness around school shootings and started the March for Our Lives movement, primarily over social media and with a turnout of almost 2 million people by 2018. Their work truly elevated the importance of gun restrictions and was reflected in the historic gun safety law recently adopted by Congress. Our students are and will be global citizens, mindful of others' perspectives, educated about the world around them, aware of how they can meaningfully impact it and contribute to it. Let me state this another way. One of our parents recently who participated in our listening session said, "Alberto, every child deserves to have an education that helps them achieve their dreams." In a country obsessed with performance indicators where public education is indoctrinating students with critical race theory, book bans, and which political party has the better understanding of what public education needs, we often forget the basic premise of why we teach our students. You see, this parent captured the essence of why all of us get up in the morning. We wake up each day to help our students make sense of the world, to help them find their place and to help them follow their dreams, period. Every single child that walks through our doors deserves that opportunity, no matter their race, no matter their religious doctrines, their socioeconomic status, their sexual orientation, their gender identity, their housing situation, or their neighborhood. It matters not. Being ready for the world means our students will graduate with the skills and knowledge they need to live out their dreams. Being ready for the world is Vinton Cerf, who graduated from Van Nuys High School and is considered one of the fathers of the internet after writing the first TCP protocol, the true foundation of the modern internet. Ready for the world is Grant High School alum Julio Cortez, who just won the Pulitzer Prize in journalism. It's Rosario Marin, who graduated from Huntington Park High and was the first Latina Secretary of the Treasury. It's Ray Bradbury, a Los Angeles High School graduate and Fahrenheit 451 author. It's the numerous actors, Carol Burnett, Leonardo DiCaprio, Mila Kunis, Robert Redford, Regina King. It's musicians like the Red Hot Chili Peppers who met at Fairfax High School. Etta James, Will I Am, Sal Rodriguez, or Ice Cube, who put words and music to the ethos and social culture moments of our time. You know better than me, the list of impressive graduates with powerful roles in culture and society goes on and on. You do that. My friends, we have a rich legacy of students who attended our schools, walked through our halls, sat in our classrooms, laughed with their peers, cried with our teachers, and then changed the world. But not all heroes are in the past. That's why every child deserves a chance to follow their dreams, not tomorrow, but right now. And we're here to ensure that happens. For you are the dream makers. You are the architects of hope. You are the engineers of their own happiness. Let's then talk about the pillars and strategies outlined in our 22-26 strategic plan. Though I'm going to discuss each part of the plan, the different elements in it are not intended to stay alone. They are interconnected, they are woven, and they influence or support one another. While the priorities and strategies may be categorized in a particular area, as you will see, each piece will work together, part of the same puzzle, in a coherent system to provide an exceptional education program. This is key. This is key in ensuring all students graduate ready for the world. As we go through this, rather than simply providing an oral recitation of the plan, I want to demonstrate how each pillar of this strategic plan will benefit you, our students, and our community. The first pillar may seem fairly obvious as an institution of public education, one that upholds academic excellence. We are first and foremost an institution that is dedicated to providing that world-class education, that experience for all of our students. Otherwise, what are we doing here? This is indeed the most important component to ensuring students are ready for the world. We believe we must support our students in developing the foundational knowledge and necessary skills to graduate and succeed in college and the workforce. We must also offer them opportunities and tools needed to grow into excited and inspired, relevant, and respectful lives. We'll ensure that we will achieve this for all of our students, particularly for those students who have historically been underserved by educational systems that have let them down. We're going to ensure they receive the instructional support and the services they need to thrive in our schools. We have set out ambitious goals for this pillar, and we will work aggressively, steadfastly to ensure they are met. Goals like increasing our graduation rate to 93%, increasing the percentage of students who meet early literacy benchmarks, increasing the district-wide percentage of students identified for gifted and talent education programs to close to 15%, increasing the percentage of high school students who are on track to graduate meeting all A through G requirements with a grade of C or better to 70%. We're also announcing new products, new programs, new initiatives, and offerings to coincide with each pillar, so we can better achieve each one of these goals. We'll discuss the products and their correlation with each pillar throughout our time together. For Pillar 1 and academic excellence, the new offerings include Triple E, early education expansion, career labs for middle schools, National Education Equity Lab, and a host of other new offerings. This is for James A. Garfield High School alum Mila, who just graduated from Dartmouth College as one of 13 valedictorians for the class of 2022. You see, Mila is a first-generation student from East LA. Defied the odds to graduate as valedictorian with a 4.0 GPA from an Ivy League college. This is for Jay. You see, Jay just graduated from JFK High School with a 4 scholarship to Southern California Institute of Architecture. Jay was a CTE architectural design student in the school's architecture, digital design, and filmmaking magnet. And his teacher described Jay's creativity as an inspiration to those around him. My friends, you and I know that our classrooms, our halls, our schools are filled with Milas and Jays, and we must see our students affirm them and invest in them to lead them towards their personal success. I want to welcome students into a system where exceptional teaching can be found in every classroom and knowledgeable, critical thinkers can be found in every seat, and congratulate them after they've landed successful careers. The second pillar is equally important. It focuses on creating safe and healthy environments to promote joy and wellness. When I think of the importance of this focus, I think of a mom I recently met at Starbucks. Through life's difficult circumstances, this woman was living on Skid Row with her family. I met this mom along with the board after her daughter received a letter notifying them of a second option for a meaningful program in Los Angeles Unified, one that can better meet her individual needs. The mother was elated for luck breaking their way. It's honestly serendipitous that I met her, but her story is a demonstration of the intentionality we must deploy to identify the indicators that are negatively working against our students and their success. The only way our students will thrive in our schools and fully engage in their academic experience is when they feel safe, when they feel welcomed. How many of you have often felt like this? Sometimes it feels like the world is burning and there's not much we can do. But that's why many of us enjoy hiking, going to the beach, reading, listening to music, going to the Dodgers, Rams, or Lakers games. Sorry to you Chargers and Angels fans, and don't get me started on the Clippers. You see, we have a number of ways we manage stress pressing against us. Similarly, we must address the student experience and help them cope with their daily reality. Realities like constantly hearing about mass shootings across the country, or maneuvering dangerous crosswalks, or feeling the pang or anxiety but not being equipped to process or manage it, or not feeling like their true self is accepted. This pillar represents our commitment to fostering a safe, inclusive, and supportive school culture on every campus, and truly maximizing their opportunities while minimizing the barriers to their learning. My friends, we will do things like increasing the percentage of students that feel safe at school to 82%. Increase the percentage of students in elementary, middle, and high demonstrating growth in each of the social and emotional learning competencies by 8%, while decreasing the percentage of chronically absent students, those whose attendance is below 91%, For you and I know that we cannot teach the absent child. To address the whole child, we're implementing new offerings like I Attend LAUSD campaign, elevating school nutrition, outdoor learning spaces and projects, telehealth in schools, all kids bike for kindergarten and middle schoolers, and Cat in a Hat for all. Well, that last one isn't an actual offering, but Dean Tagawa has been pitching hard for it. This focus is not just for some, it is for everyone, every student in our LGBTQ community who never felt accepted and never felt comfortable in their own skin. It's for every student who has felt defeated by mental health struggles and didn't know how to escape or how to find help. It's for every student who came to school hungry and couldn't focus on schoolwork because they lacked nutritional sustenance. It's for every student who is neurodivergent or disabled who never felt like they mattered. It's for every student who comes from a neighborhood or background or country or culture who has been told the world doesn't care about them. This pillar is about cultivating trust. Trust with our students and families so they feel connected to that safe space, that room where it happens, our classroom. In so doing, we will listen to them as they describe what the space they need requires. For my friends, as Brené Brown has said, it turns out that trust is in fact earned in smallest of moments. It is earned not through heroic deeds or even highly visible actions, but through paying attention, listening, and gestures of genuine care and connection. But we can't do this alone. Our children do not exist in a vacuum. They are part of a larger society, and education helps them become informed citizens. That is why our third pillar focuses on engagement and collaboration. Providing an exceptional learning experience for our students during the pandemic brought our priorities and opportunities for growth into sharper focus and truly highlighted one of our greatest assets, the strength, the unity of our Los Angeles unified community. Our families and communities are critical partners in preparing students to be ready for the world and in building a world that is ready for them. We will strengthen relationships between families, students, and their schools by increasing the percentage of parents who report they feel welcome to participate at their school to 94%. We will engage thousands of participants during Parent Academy webinars. And we will increase the percentage of parents who report their school actually provides coherent information to 96%. Our new products for this pillar include universal Wi-Fi through all families connected, the Parent Mobile App 3.0, and the Parent Academy. My friends, we aim to serve in excess of 100,000 parents in this Academy's inaugural year. Is it difficult? Yes. Is it doable? Absolutely, no doubt. We will also provide consistent and accessible information to the community, honor and act upon the perspectives of students and everyone we serve, and leverage our role as crucial members of local, state, national, and global communities to make a lasting, impactful difference. Our partners play a significant role in this effort. From Fender Play to Junior Achievement, from Amazon to Baby, our supporters provide students with additional options and assistance. They broaden our capacity and expand the array of opportunities for students, such as Competition Spotify, hosted where students created their own original music, and the winner was selected and given the chance to have their music featured on Spotify platforms. Amazing stuff happening. I want to also introduce you to another incredible organization here in Los Angeles, one that provides tens of thousands of families with life-saving medical treatment and world-class service. Without them, many families would have no other options. Actually, they've sent a special guest to speak with us today, and this will be someone will actually be in our schools. Everyone, please say hi to Pepper.
Hello, my name is Pepper. I greet patients at Children's Hospital Los Angeles and bring a smile to their faces. I hope you have a good year, and I look forward to seeing how innovative technology can help the children of Los Angeles.
Thanks to Children's Hospital Los Angeles for sending us a wonderful message via Pepper. I'm thrilled to be partnering with CHLA and leveraging their incredible medical technology as a service to the Los Angeles Unified community. These examples are only possible with incredible partners willing to invest in our students. Now, my friends, these are great aspirations, wonderful ideas, but they can only be achieved if we do the hard work of maximizing our operational effectiveness. To create opportunities for our students to become ready for the world and develop into future leaders of change and progress, we must demonstrate that same leadership, that same courage, that same courageous leadership through innovative approaches to managing our organization. We have indeed set out to modernize our IT infrastructure in at least 66% of our schools, increase the annual 4-year cohort new student enrollment to at least 16%, and increase enrollment in thematic and choice learning options to at least 65% of our students. This also includes improving and maintaining state-of-the-art facilities, providing access to the latest technology, and establishing powerful new ways to look at data and district budgets so we make the best decisions that best serve our students. We must also differentiate our recruitment strategies to meet the needs of specific communities. Finally, and most importantly, we must further promote and improve access to the district's leading-edge programs so that our families are excited to stay and continue learning in our schools. We must make, we will make Los Angeles Unified the district of choice for families in our community. I want us to begin thinking about academic excellence and the Los Angeles Unified community, not just K-12 or even our EECs, because through our Born to Learn outreach campaign, our framework will shift so that our pillars extend all the way to birth. People from my team will be just outside of the delivery room, ready to welcome new babies into the world with pacifiers and swaddling blankets. That is our charge. Speaking of, how about we start a new merchandise line for babies? Someone check if Gap needs a new baby line, Gap Baby by Los Angeles Unified. All of a sudden, LAUSD transitions from a K-12 possibility to a B-14 promise, birth through 2 years of college or career technical education. We can do this. We also have $6 billion in facilities improvements at nearly 1,000 sites. They are currently in design or under construction. Additionally, we have 120 campus upgrades, including 7 major modernization projects in planning and development, totaling an investment of $1.2 billion. That's over $7 billion in bond-funded or new modernization projects. These are multi-phase projects that will provide 21st century general and specialty classrooms, address earthquake safety and failing building systems, providing accessibility, site upgrades, and yes, removing portable classrooms. You see, we are accelerating campus greening at schools with the greatest need for safe and sustainable green spaces and outdoor learning environments. In fact, we develop a greening index that identifies which schools are most in need of greening resources, of shading. The greening index will inform and direct new efforts to address inequities through a board-approved investment of $80 million to provide all students in our community equitable access to safe, healthy spaces. There are so many more examples I could share with you, but the point is this. Positioning Los Angeles Unified as the district of choice for families requires serious and intentional investment for the spaces in which our students are building the foundations of their future success. Let's be clear. This isn't an episode of Oprah where you get a building, you get a garden, you get a new magnet program, although that does sound like fun. We will be determined and strategic. We will be intentional with how new investments are divided so we maximize the overall impact through a lens of equity. Now, for me, this is energizing stuff. The final pillar is where this will hit home for many of you. The fifth pillar is all about investing in staff. Our commitment to upholding students' joy and wellness as well as their academic success must be mirrored in our investments to sustain staff, sustain their wellness, and to build pathways for ongoing professional development, growth, and opportunities to excel. We can only advocate for our students, push them to succeed, and invest in their dreams when we really recognize and empower, reward, and support you and our colleagues across LAUSD. Most importantly, and I want to be clear about this, I didn't come to LA to fight anyone. I came to LA to fight for our children. I came to LA to empower those who inspire them every single day. Our teachers, our leaders, our support staff, the bus driver, the cafeteria worker, those who are the freedom fighters of our generation, those who believe in the importance of public education as the builder and the protector of democracy. That's why I'm here. And in saying so, I want to tell everyone who is in this hall and who is listening, we must fairly compensate our staff. Los Angeles Unified must help our staff keep up with the growing cost of living in Los Angeles. We recently did so by continuing to offer the gold standard in health and welfare benefits to employees, passing no additional cost to our employees. That is the right thing, for health is a human right. Now we must also commit to swift and just, fair negotiations of collective bargaining agreements that address the economic conditions in our community. It is our goal not only to be the district of choice for families, but the district of choice for our employees as well. The ambitious goals we've been discussing for ourselves and for our students require a clear focus on the recruitment, the development, and the retention of our talented and dedicated staff. Goals like ensuring at least 50% of our new applicants are members of underrepresented groups, increasing the number of promotional pathways in nursing and mental health and instructional assistance, increasing the percentage of teachers in micro-credentialing programs who come from high-need schools to 80%, and providing competency-based, rigorous, and relevant professional learning. We will also provide a career ladders guide for classified employees, a classified growth and development tool, executive management evaluation, wellness Wednesdays for school leaders, and a staff retention toolkit. And why are we doing this? Well, it's for people like Southeast High School academic counselor Ruby Ramirez. See, Ruby was instrumental in guiding Maria and Jordan through college applications. Because of her remarkable work, because of her stellar work, and Southeast equipping them, Maria was accepted into Harvard and Jordan into UC Berkeley on full academic scholarships. Why are we doing this? It's for people like Timothy Sweeney, the principal of Miller Career and Transition Center, who is committed to developing young adults with disabilities into employable, self-advocating members of the community who are ready for the world after they leave Miller. You see, I met Tim a few months ago. I mean, Tim has passion. I mean, he's all about dedication, and those two together are truly inspiring. Why are we doing this? We're doing it for places like Glassell Park Elementary STEAM Magnet that is expanding its early education program. My friends, you and I believe that every single child deserves access to those earliest opportunities for education and engagement at a cultural oasis, a greening oasis, an academic oasis. Yet, how many amongst us currently don't have that opportunity? Why are we doing this? We're doing it for people like Bridge Street Elementary robotics and math coach Anna Marie Garcia. You see, she coached the school's inaugural robotics team, invited to compete in the 2022 VEX Robotics World Championship in Texas. Because of the dedicated employees at Bridge Street and Glassell Park who expose youth to incredible STEM programs, students are considering future careers in aerospace and engineering. That's the possibility. And I don't have to tell you that our world, humankind, is on a precipice of significant discoveries. I mean, who amongst you saw the James Webb Space Telescope photos? To me at least, it kind of looked like a black granite countertop. But some of our greatest minds spent years developing tools so precise, so perceptive, so cool, that are now peering into the oldest depths of our universe. Our students, our kids, our children are the next generation who will join the ranks of innovators and who will discover the secrets of the universe and answer questions we can't yet conceptualize. These are just a few of the many stories of staff going above and beyond for our students. Rather than our strategic plan looking like a simple graphic, it really looks like this: a structure where educators, you are the foundation. You are the reason our students succeed. You are the living heartbeat of Los Angeles Unified. You are the lifeblood of this exercise we call public education. Without you, this does not exist. Without you, we cannot commit who we are, investing in our professional success for the benefit of our children. My friends, we are at an inflection point in history. What we once knew about the world is forever changed. This was actually true before the pandemic, but COVID-19 accelerated the changes in our world. Our health system is in crisis, our politics are broken, our world is being ravaged by climate change. Our national discourse seems eternally fractured. Our youth are suffering under the weight of isolation, anxiety, and depression. We can no longer teach students in the old ways or the old customs or the old mindsets. That world is forever gone. We must overcome the gravitational pull of the status quo because it's no longer sufficient, if it ever was. We must train students to be change makers for the world they're stepping into, not the one they're leaving behind. My charge to you as we come back from several years that taught us the importance of education and our role as a school system is to remember that basic premise and promise, the hope of education, that all students matter and the future needs them now more than ever. The world needs them ready to contribute to it, to change it, to step into spaces that need them the most. My charge to you is to look beyond the test scores, look beyond the grades, and look into the hearts and souls of our students to help them find their place in this world. For we cannot teach the mind of the child whose heart we don't first touch. Help them identify their strengths, nurture them into exploring their passions, feed their imaginations, their curiosity, answer their questions and their hearts as much as you equip their minds. Support them, love them, hug them, change them, challenge them, encourage them, help them dream big dreams. I know this is going to be a tough year, but then again, it's been several difficult years. But it will be especially challenging to write the course of an altered future while confronting the obstacles before us. I know you will correct the trajectory and then some. You will succeed when success seems beyond your grasp. And when you feel particularly discouraged, and that day will come, maybe even several times throughout the year, remember why you got into this to begin with, why you chose education as a passion, as a profession, what brought you to this work, what keeps you up at night, what gets you up in the morning. For when we remember our purpose, we will always find our sustaining resolve. At the end of everyone's why, at the end of everyone's purpose are students. They are the reason we are here. Right now I'm thinking of Nancy, a student I met who was understandably angry, one of 20 students, most of them facing incredible challenges, many of them homeless. She was angry. She was doubtful about me. She was doubtful about us, the work we do. But I got a chance to get to know her. I invited her to my office. We sat, took her up to the roof of Beaudry so she could see Los Angeles in its vast beauty. But we've stayed in contact after she left my office. Nancy had been accepted to a number of colleges and universities, but didn't think there was a way she'd be able to attend because of cost. She literally cried in my office. So we did what we do best. We connected her with student services and we found a solution. Nancy is going to college this fall. You see, good systems have universal big solutions, but those macro solutions can and need to be individualized, personalized to address the specific needs of every one of our children so they can experience the fullness of opportunities before them. I'm also thinking right now about students like Thomas, my millionaire high schooler. Just graduated with a 4.3 GPA, an AS and AA degrees from Los Angeles Harbor College, where he also maintained a very cool 4.0 GPA. Thomas took advantage of the opportunities available to him and graduated high school after the first semester of his senior year. Was accepted into 30 universities, which include the very best schools in the country. And on top of that, Thomas has a scholarship offer in totality adding up to over $1 million. Thomas will attend UC Berkeley this fall. I'm thinking right now about students like Miranda, who overcame housing instability while raising her GPA from 0.8 to 3.8 alongside raising her younger siblings. And she did this while working 2 jobs. Miranda's goal is to gain custody of her 2 younger siblings and reunite them as a family. I'm thinking about students like Manny. Manny is currently experiencing homelessness, has navigated the world of his own, on his own for the past 2 years. Lived in a group home until he turned 18. Now he transitioned to a homeless shelter. Manny is our child. Even though Manny was dealt this hand, he remained committed to succeeding, even traveling more than 1 hour each way by city bus to continue high school. Manny just graduated with his high school diploma. This is why we teach. Even on your worst day, you are your student's best shot. Even when you don't feel capable or adequate, you are their best opportunity. Even when you feel like you have nothing left to give, you are their gateway to possibilities. You are their constant. You are there to help students see within themselves all their unique attributes, all of their unique gifts and abilities, everything that makes them who they are, those talents that make them powerful beyond measure. You are there to show them that regardless of their current circumstance, they possess the will and determination to achieve their wildest dreams. You are their guide, moving them forward to help them realize that they can, in fact, find their place in this community, in this world. You are there to help them actualize their dreams and be the change this world so desperately needs. A world that needs extraordinary people to meet the challenges of these unprecedented times. My friends, I believe in you. I have not been here long, but I've listened to your words, I've looked you in the eye, I have heard the poetry in your hearts, and I know you have what it takes. I have full faith and hope that you will continue to go above and beyond and achieve the impossible and turn it into the inevitable for our students and our school communities. I have no doubt that we will make this a school year full of possibilities. Our legacy and your work has already proven that we will do whatever it takes. You shall do whatever it takes. No excuse, no challenge, no wall, whatever it takes.
Too fast to prepare for this. Tripping in the world could be dangerous. Everybody circling as vultures. Negative, nepotist. Everybody waiting for the fall of man. Everybody praying for the end of times. Everybody hoping they could be the one. I was born to run, I was born for this. Whip, whip, run me like a racehorse. Pull me like a ripcord. Break me down and build me up. I wanna be the slip, slip. Word up on your lip, lip. Better let you rip, rip. Break me down and build me up. Whatever it takes. Years like I'm out of dumb. Everybody needs to be a part of them. Never be enough on the prodigal son. I was born to run, I was born for this. Whip, whip, roll me like a racehorse. Pull me like a ripcord. Break me down and build me up. I wanna be the slip, slip. Word up on your lip, lip. Better let you rip, rip. Break me down and build me up. Whatever it takes. 'Cause I love the adrenaline in my veins. I do whatever it takes.
So, what will it take? Whatever it takes. And now that I've met you, now that I know you, we will do whatever it takes. Come August 15th, magic happens. We will reawaken this sleeping giant called LUSD from its summer nap. And ready or not, they will show up. They will show up for a new day, a new reality, a new possibility, a new dream, a new opportunity enabled by you, the freedom fighters of our generation. Now, those of you who know me know that I have deep love for Tupac Shakur. And I would like to leave you with some of his words of wisdom. I know it seems hard. It seems hard sometimes, but remember one thing. through every dark night, there is a bright day after. So no matter how hard it gets, stick your chest out, keep your head up, and handle it. My friends, a new day is here. Are you ready? Let's go handle it. Let's get down to business. Thank you very much. Let's have a fantastic 22-23 school year. Thank you.
Let's get down to business. Give you one more night to get this. We've had a million nights just like this. So let's get down to business.